Greg Frank, the Credit Educator here with Superior Credit Care, teaching you how to defeat the debt collectors. Now let's say you go to your mailbox one day and you receive a letter that you're pretty certain is coming from a collection agency. What should you do? Here's a multiple choice quiz. Choice A, throw it on top of the pile with all of your other unopened mail. Choice B, throw it in the garbage without even opening it. Choice C, open it, take a quick glance at it, and then toss it in the garbage. Well, the correct answer is D, none of the above. If you're experiencing collection activity, particularly if you have multiple accounts, you should keep a file for each creditor, and you should keep every single letter that you receive, because you never know when it might be important in your attempt to defeat them. Now, it's really important to read each letter because some of them could be what's called an initial notification. When a collection agency first receives your account, whether they are assigned it or they have purchased it, they are required by law to send you a very specifically worded letter called an initial notification. The letter has to announce who they are, who they received the debt from, who the original creditor was if it's someone other than who they received the debt from, but most importantly, that letter has to contain the following language. Actually, see if I can read this without putting my glasses on. But listen to this very, very carefully. It's so important. Unless you notify this office within 30 days after receiving this notice that you dispute the validity of this debt or any portion thereof, this office will assume this debt is valid. Now, what does that mean? Ignore this letter, throw it in the garbage, do nothing, and we assume the debt is valid, and we are going to come after you and bombard you with phone calls and more letters and make your life miserable. But then the letter goes on to say, if you notify this office in writing within 30 days from receiving this notice that you dispute the validity of this debt or any portion thereof, our office will obtain verification of this debt and provide it to you. Now, what does that mean? The key word is obtain. What they are saying is that they do not actually have any tangible documentation that proves you owe the debt, but if you dispute the debt in writing within that 30-day period, they will go back to the original creditor and obtain those documents and provide them to you. Now, why is this important? What the letter doesn't say, but the same passage of the law that requires they send you this letter goes on to state is this: while they are obtaining the documentation, they must cease all collection activity. So, if the debt is some ancient debt that has resurfaced, the odds are that whatever documentation that actually links you to that account no longer exists, and even if it does exist, the creditor who has already sold that debt off no longer has any interest in it. They will probably not provide that information to the collection agency. That means that if the collection agency cannot obtain those documents, they have to permanently cease all collection activity. That's right, you'll never hear from them again, ever. And beyond that, they are forbidden to ever credit report that account because it is against the law to credit report unverifiable information, and you have just proven that the debt can't be verified. So if you would like some assistance in terms of preparing an initial notification dispute, if you've received a letter like this, fill out the consultation request box below, and I'll be glad to help you. Join us on the next video.